All right, everyone, welcome back. This is part 2 of our very special Burnell Family Night stream where all we're doing is kind of hanging out live with the stream chat and talking with everyone and doing shout-outs for contributions, just kind of being social. It's my wife's first stream back in over 5 years, if you can believe it. Now, if you want to know why, well, watch part 1, because in part 1 we answered a lot of the basic questions here, and now we're just going to kind of hang out with everyone for a little bit more until we kind of get beat. So, here we go. No Sleep Real Vibes wants to know, what did you think of Far Cry 6? Well, first of all, you beaten it.
I did.
Right? So what did you think overall of Far Cry 6 now that you've beaten it?
I liked the story. It was a huge improvement from 5. I did not like 5. But sadly, it's still boring and repetitive, the open world stuff, because that's going to be like that in every Far Cry game. I didn't like the open world stuff. It's just... at one point, I just wanted to finish the story I think it was like midway through, because I was like, I'm just tired of doing the same, taking the checkpoints over and, doing the same stuff over and over again. That stuff got boring, but the story was good. It was better than 5, so I would say it was a decent game. I didn't love it, but I thought it was okay.
There you go. A fun game, but not a great game.
Yeah, just in the middle.
Right. Let's see here. Lucky Gremlin says, this is very cool. Hope you'll do a weekly thing like this and hope to see some co-op gaming. Dennis, what game is your favorite atmosphere for setting? I don't even know what that means. Atmosphere for setting. Whatever. Let's see here. What were your thoughts on... What were your thoughts on the Nintendo Switch when it first came out? That's directed at you. What were your thoughts on the Nintendo Switch?
I don't play, you know what? I don't really play a lot of games or Nintendo games, so I didn't really have a huge opinion about it, you know? So I just don't really care, you know?
And you've had, like, I've given you my Switch a few times to play, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's not, yeah, exactly.
It's not like you've had any, the only game you ever played on there really was Animal Crossing, right?
Yeah,
like you're not really...
I don't play on the Switch that much to really say an opinion, because
right.
I barely play on it. I'm mostly playing on the Xbox and
right.
PlayStation, so...
Can a moderator please get rid of Bud Walton? He's an obnoxious idiot, please. He's just being stupid. I don't want to answer him because he's so dumb. Kat, what is your favorite DSP remix song? Do you sit here and listen to my remixes every morning? No, I didn't think so.
I don't even think I know any.
You wouldn't know. Let's see here. What was your favorite handheld of all time? Did you ever own, like, a handheld gaming system, and what was your favorite?
No, I don't think so.
Never? Not even a game, like any model of the Game Boy or anything over the years?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I had a Game Boy, but that was, like, so long ago.
Right.
I don't really use... You know what? I really don't game on handhelds that much. Mostly just, you know...
Right. Did you have any... do you remember any games on the Game Boy that you played when you had one? No? It's just when you just had it.
I mean, really I was so young, so...
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right. A Cat Style House says, happy to see you and Cat together. Can't wait to see more of you in the future. It's a nice thing. Someone being stupid asking makeup questions. This is not a makeup stream. No one's going to be telling you products of makeup that she's using. It's ridiculous. Let's see. What are our goals for the year? I mean, honestly, we haven't... Again, you guys are acting like this is like a super serious... like we sat down and we planned out a giant year's worth of stuff that we're doing. We haven't done that, right? Like, for us, this is just a stream to be fun together, right? To hang out, to answer some questions, to see, you know, how people receive it, to let you know we're interested in doing some co-op gameplay this year. That's about it, all right? We're not that sure. We don't have goals for things. No, we're not setting up a Phil and Cat co-op channel. This is ridiculous for people, you know. No, you guys, what you do is you take the pebble and you turn it into a giant mountain. That's what you tend to do. We're not anywhere near that. We're just kind of testing the waters with how tonight goes. Like, just to give you an idea here, like, I'm freaking sitting here wobbling on my plastic stool, you know, trying to pull this off because we didn't really plan it or anything. You know what I mean? Hopefully we'll have to look for something better to do these in the future and everything. It's not that serious, okay? Okay. Let's see here. Do you have any particular playthroughs of mine that you consider your favorites that you've watched from anything that I've done over the years? Anything come to mind at all that was like just a really funny one or something?
There's been so many. Probably Like a Dragon, the last one.
You liked the Yakuza Like a Dragon playthrough?
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. Like, that was one of my favorite playthroughs I've ever done. It was
Yeah.
super lengthy, lots of content, funny stuff. You know, I really like that game. And,
Yeah.
you know, those are the longer length chill stream games, too, that are easier to get into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fun. Let's see here. No, Kat makes a lot of bakes and food, but she doesn't cook, like, authentic Italian food. Like, someone says, do you make old school Italian food for Phil? I mean, no, we don't even, I couldn't even make old school Italian food, and I'm Italian. All I could do is make a plate of marinara sauce, you know? So,
Yeah.
But, you know, you make pasta bakes and things like that. So.
Yeah.
We'll do a few more shout-outs for contributions in a minute. I just want to do a little more of the common questions here. Jade says it's cool to see you two together tonight. Thank you, Jade. Darth Gulbach says, do you have a favorite genre of game? She already answered that. RPGs, right? So you've already answered that question. So Carlos says, okay, this is more specific. Since you said your favorite genre is RPGs, do you like more action-based ones or turn-based ones? Do you have a preference between action or turn? Action.
Yeah.
What particularly? What's like a good action-based RPG?
Well,
that
he
you
just
play?
mentioned The Witcher.
Oh, Witcher 3.
Witcher 3.
You played that one, but also Dragon Age Inquisition, right?
Yes.
Which is definitely more action-based. The
Yes.
original Dragon Ages were slower paced. That one was way more of an action-based game, and you loved that one, right? Let's see here. Do you have a favorite snack that you've ever made for the streams in the last year? Do you remember any of the snacks you made, and was a good one that you liked?
Well, it was more of the meal, the barbecue.
The whole barbecue spread.
Yeah.
Which is a ton of stuff. Remember?
It was the mac and cheese. The did I make some kind of a chicken? I think I made some kind of a chicken.
It was the barbecue slow cooker chicken.
Yeah.
With it.
And then cornbread, I think.
Right.
I made.
Yeah.
Or something.
So it was everything homemade. Right.
Yeah.
Which was really good. Like a full course meal. Right. What are your thoughts on PC gaming? Oh boy.
Oh.
Well, first of all, you have a gaming PC and you were gaming on PC for a while.
A little bit.
But you've always been kind of a console gamer, right? Like that's been your thing.
Yes. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it, but I understand some people are so into the PC gaming that they hate console gaming or they just hate consoles. I don't understand that. I mean, I feel like whatever you want to do, as long as you're having fun, that's all that matters. I don't know why there's some people who are so against playing on console. They think PC is like better than anything else. I don't understand that, but whatever makes you happy, you can do. I'm just not a huge, I like playing on my consoles. I've never had any issues with it, so I don't understand the divide,
So you're not PC Master Race, is what
No, I'm not PC Master Race. Okay. I think that's obnoxious.
Did you ever watch Mr. Bean?
Yes.
Yeah, funny. Yes. Very funny stuff. We've watched some of that together, actually. It's really funny. Let's see here. Some of these questions are kind of ridiculous. Maybe we'll go back to... We have a few tip things to get to, so let's actually see what these are, rather than fielding the most random questions possible in the chat. Let's see here. Shroom Dukem with a $2 tip, giving a shout out to you and your lovely hair, and he says, say no to weed. So there you go. Considering your name is Shroom Dukem, yeah, I think you should say no to weed. Thank you very much. I got a $1 tip here. What? It's like a giant paragraph about your nephew got into a fight. Do you have any advice? Yeah, here's my advice. Don't ask me about your nephew getting into a fight on the stream where my wife is coming back for the first time in 5 years. It's really stupid. But thanks for the $1 tip anyway. I got a $20 tip. Yikes. From August. I'm sorry you guys have to deal with negativity simply for existing. Don't let any of it get to you. And Mrs. DSP, please keep a smile on. There you go. That's something very nice. Thank you, August, for the tip. I appreciate that very much. Okay, awesome. All righty. Just gonna get rid of this idiot myself at this point. Okay. Derek, I may or may not have seen your message. Hold on, because we're playing catch up here. All right, please be patient. Hold on. Let me click over here. Did we miss anything? So we did the Balloon Kit super chat about Danganronpa or Phoenix Wright. Derek did his 17-month membership re-upping message, and he said, would you prefer LA Noire or Heavy Rain? Which between those two games, which would you like more?
Heavy Rain.
Is there a reason why you like Heavy Rain over
Because it's
LA
the same team that made, well, maybe not specific team, but same developer that made Detroit Become Human. And
really like
I really like Detroit Become Human.
There you go. Shout out to Sarah, who did a super chat and says, thank you, Kat, for supporting Phil behind these scenes and for food during the marathons. Phil and his content are just so much happier now and positive since he married you. And a big heart emo. So there you go. And thank you for that, Sarah. Very true. Like I've said, I feel like, I mean, let's be honest here. Since I met Kat, right, I've changed my attitude, my positivity. I'm a more positive, focused person now. My life has dramatically improved since I met her and since we've been together, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I'm very grateful for that because I needed that. It was a time in my life when things were awful, and to have that turn around and to be a more positive person getting older is a nice thing. You know, I was very, very tumultuous in my youth. So, so thank you for saying that, Sarah. Shout out to Richard, who did a super chat. Says, can we see a smooch? Yeah, off camera when we feel like it. We're not just going to kiss each other on camera in front of you just because you're desiring it. Plus, probably I get lipstick all over me right now. It'd be very embarrassing. So thank you, Richard, for the super chat. Here's the thing. Here's the truth. My wife and I don't like pressure of doing things because someone's like forcing you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference between, oh, there's something natural going on, and we're, you know, let's kiss, versus, hey, you just kiss on camera. Come on, guys, kiss on camera. I'm the same way. Like my whole life, when someone bothers me about something like that, I won't do it. Like on purpose, just to be I won't do it just because you're bothering me about it. You guys know that when you say things on stream, do this, and I'm just gonna ignore you, right? So it's the same thing there, the same mentality. All right, you know, if we're having a good time and we're having a good stream and something happens nice and we want to kiss, we will. But for you to try to ask us to do that is kind of ridiculous, don't you think? Like this is not YouTube controls two people on a stream. This is us just hanging out with you guys. So please be respectful of that. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay, yes, you saw Jasper just jumped up on the chair there, and they all saw him, started doing the Jasper emote there. Very good. DSPGaming says, great to see you here tonight. Let's see. Do you like the Souls games at all? Or FromSoft games, we should probably say.
I played Dark Souls 3, and then I played half of Dark Souls 2. I didn't finish it. I'm not crazy about them. Like, other people, they go crazy for those games. I can see why people like them. And they're not bad games, but I've already experienced one time. I don't need to go and play all of them or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not crazy about them, but I think they're all right.
Well, you know, we do enjoy watching some people play them from time to time.
Because I like to, I do like to watch people play them, but I think it's just the stress enough of playing it yourself. It's like you don't want to. I want to have fun. Like I want like a balance of fun and challenging. I don't want too challenging or too frustrating, and I think some of the games are like that. You know.
Right. Okay.
So.
Butter says, "What did you think of RoboCop Rogue City?"
Oh yeah, that was another one I liked. That was a game I didn't think was going to be very good, and then I watched you play it, and then we watched someone else play it, and it's pretty good, honestly. Okay. And I thought it was going to be more like a shooter, but it actually is more like an RPG. It has a lot of RPG elements in it.
I honestly did zero research on the game before you guys recommended it to me, and I literally thought it was a first-person shooter. I thought it played like Doom or something. Yeah. And that's why I was kind of apprehensive. I was like, that'll work for a stream, and then people will get bored. And then when you guys convinced me, no, play it, and when I checked it out, like, this is like Deus Ex or another open-world first-person RPG. It's not what I thought it was at all, and it ended up being really, really good in my opinion. So, awesome. Are we excited for The Last of Us Season 2 on HBO? Well, here's the thing. All right, let's be honest about it. When the Season 1 was announced, we both liked The Last of Us 1. We think it's a great game. We both played it. We enjoy it. And as we're watching the show, I think the show had a great start, correct? Like, the first episode or two is really good. And then when you get halfway through the show and you're like, wait a minute, where are all the zombies? Like, this is supposed to be a show about zombie survival, but they had time for an entire episode of a couple who had nothing to do with this plot of the game.
Right.
And they're elaborate. They have time for the DLC, but they don't have time for the actual monsters to be in the show. It's like, so obviously something there was going on behind the scenes with some kind of an agenda. And we ended up overall thinking the show wasn't terrible, but it also wasn't good, right? It was kind of middle of the road. But we don't like Last of Us 2. I've already told you my opinion on the game. So obviously I don't think the show's going to be any good. You didn't like Last of Us 2, right? You felt the same as me. So why are we going to care about, I mean, will we watch it? Maybe I'll watch it just for the sake of reviewing it. But I'm not going to watch it with the anticipation that I'm going to like it because I know I don't like that plot. I thought the plot of the game was terrible, and you know the plot of the show is just going to be very close, right? Okay. Continuing on here. I don't even know what this means. I'm just going to get rid of this person. We received a $5 tip from Love It or Leave It. What is your favorite movie, and did you ever have a favorite TV show? Theirs was Indiana Jones and Indiana Jones 3, so that would have been the Last Crusade. Yeah, the third one, The Last Crusade, and The Sopranos from HBO from back in the day. So do you have a favorite movie or a favorite TV show?
The Lord of the Rings trilogy. For sure are my favorite. Those are movies, but
yeah. I guess you could still argue they're like one continuous thing, you know? So that's cool.
I don't know about TV shows. I haven't watched a TV show in a while, so, I mean, the last one that I really got into, that was a long time ago, was The Walking Dead. But then I stopped watching it.
Like everybody else.
Like everybody else. When the whole Negan plot came, it got incredibly boring, and I stopped watching it, so, the early seasons were my favorite. Seasons 1 through 4 are the best seasons of that show, and then Season 5 was okay, and then past that, the show just sucks. So
yeah, same for me. I loved the show.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Even the season before the Negan season, I thought it was getting too drawn out and not a lot going on. And then the Negan season happened. I was like, this literally could have been 2 episodes, and it was a whole season. I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore. And then they wrote Rick off the show. I was like, now I really don't want to watch the show anymore. So I don't care, and I never did either. So there you go. Do you prefer tea or coffee?
I like them both equally, but I drink more coffee than tea. But I like them both equally.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Now Rick is back. Yeah, but Rick's not back in the main show. Did they not end the main show? I think they completely ended the original series, and now it's like 4 spin-off shows that are going on. So there's one with Rick, and there's one with Daryl, right? I think he has his own show now.
Yep.
And then there's the other one that was Fear the Walking Dead, and that was from that's still going. So it's like, do you really want to watch 14 different shows to follow the plot of The Walking Dead? I know I don't. So that's why I'm not really going to get back into it. Do you have any favorite comedy series or movies that make you laugh? Any funny comedy stuff that you like?
The only thing that comes to mind is The Office. The American Office.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
You really like that one.
Yeah.
You never saw the British one, right? You only saw the American version?
I think I saw like a couple episodes of the British one, and I thought it was stupid, so
there Okay. I guess we'll swing back over here. There was a super chat from the General Z who said, for both of you, what is your favorite Street Fighter character? Because mine is Ryu. Do you want to answer? Do you have a favorite Street Fighter character at all? Do you even care enough about Street Fighter to have a favorite character?
Because I don't play Street Fighter, so I guess not.
I mean, for me, I'm always the guy who likes the oddball characters. So for me, I want a character that doesn't play like an archetype. Like the Shoto would be Ryu or Ken. Right? Yeah. I don't want to play like Ryu or Ken. It's kind of boring to me. I'll play them, but they're not my favorite. My favorite is the weird. So it was funny because earlier someone made a joke. What's it like being married to a great Blanca player, right?
Yeah.
Well, the truth is, Blanca's always been a staple character I've used in every Street Fighter game because he doesn't play like any other character in a fighting game. He's completely unique. That's why I like that character. So characters like that, probably I would say, Blanca would be one of my favorites. So let's take a look down here. It looks like there was another tip. From Gabriel. To break this gaming mold, what non-gaming thing are you looking forward to most in 2024? Is there anything non-gaming related you're looking forward to this year at all? I don't know.
I can't think of it.
Yeah, like the thing is,
nothing that's not too personal.
Right. We don't have any crazy plans or anything yet for this year. I mean, maybe we will by the end of the year. You never know, right? But right now, we're just kind of sailing through. You know, things are, for me, on the business side. You guys know my plans. You already know a bunch of the most new things that are going on with my streams and everything. Games, we already gone through the schedule. As for that, you're right. Anything else would probably be pretty personal. So we're not going to be like talking about that stuff publicly or anything like that. Okay, fair enough. We're not angry that you asked the question. It was a respectful question, but it's something that we're not really going to get into on the stream tonight. So, oh boy, do you have a favorite hat or vest from my collection that I wear?
The medieval one you have, the one with the horns, or no wait,
the Viking hat.
Yeah, the Viking one.
What about the Dark Souls helmet?
I don't remember.
The mesh one. It's a knit hat that looks like a nice helmet.
That one's all right.
You like the Viking horns?
Yeah, better. I like that one.
Okay. Do you even care about the vests at all? The different vests? No, I didn't think so. Okay. Let's see. Oh, here's an honest question, because you can answer this, because I think people are going to be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
How much do I talk about my streams when I'm not on stream?
I mean, not like never. I mean, when you come downstairs, we talk about it briefly, but no, we're not sitting there all night talking about it.
Right.
Because it's that separation of.
You see, this is funny because this is what I say on stream, but they never heard it from you.
Yeah.
They only hear it from me. And then you say, so now at least you're reinforcing everything that I say.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
When I'm out of this office, I keep telling you guys this, and you guys, I swear you don't believe me. The moment I'm out of this office, unless there's a reason I have to bring up what happened on a stream, I don't want to talk about the stream. I don't want to talk about the games I played. I don't want to talk about any money I made. I don't care. This is the separation. This is the door that separates between the business and the personal life. So the moment I'm out of there, I'm relaxed. I'm like, we're done with work for the day or for that stream. And now we can be ourselves and have our life to ourselves. And that's a great thing to do, to have that separation, because so many people let it seep into everything else they do. And that's another thing that people ask me all the time. Mm-hmm. Do I play games outside of this office? No. Do you see me playing video games all over the house?
No, I mean, you watch me play games.
Sure.
But you don't play games.
Exactly right. Because if my whole life was games, then I would hate it, right? Imagine if your whole life was the same thing all day, every day. You get burnt out. You get bored.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I don't play games outside of here, because then I can have time to watch you play games. We can relax. We can do other things. That's the good way to do it, in my opinion, anyway. And that's my philosophy. Don't take my work outside of here and start talking about my streams and stuff. Okay? Let's see here. Do I never tell Kat about us? Do you really think that I would stand here and start talking to my wife about every stream chatter every single day? No, I mean, it's ridiculous, right? What were you gonna say?
No, I was just. I'm sorry. It's funny. I was like, I just know because they're like, did you mention anybody's names from?
Yeah.
And I said no. I only I recognize people's names
from watching the
streams, but it's not like we're not talking about it.
Right.
Constantly.
Right. Again, people have this weird things that they think and they make up. They believe these fantasies about how we are outside here. It's completely nonsensical.
Yeah.
You know. Let's see. There's a tip here. Let's check out this while we're at it. An anonymous tipper, tip $2, says, please do play some co-op games in the future, and would like some couple reaction streams as well. I guess the question would be, what on earth would we react to? You know what I mean? Like, I can't even think, like, what would we want to watch together and do, like, a couple reaction? I think what they're thinking of is, like, my react show. But imagine if we were both there reacting to the clips instead of just me. You know what I mean?
I think that would be cool.
Maybe it's like to break it up for variety purposes at some point, like both of us reacting to it instead of just me, perhaps. The one thing that's going to be tricky, because we already talked about this, see how we are right now, like we fit on camera because it's widescreen, okay? When I do gameplay, I do squished, the 4:3 aspect ratio, the square, because that is better. And I'm wondering how we're going to do this. Like, how are we going to have our both of us on screen, co-op commentary, doing this stuff without the frame rate dipping? We have to mess with this a little bit, I think. We have to kind of, like, experiment, because I can do widescreen webcam, in the corner of a game or in the corner of us reacting to a video, but it's probably going to make the video feed chug because I've tried that before. Remember, one of the changes I tried last year was, hey, let's do a widescreen. It didn't really work, but maybe we give it another shot and see. It's one of the challenges we're going to have trying this stuff out, I feel. So,
Yeah.
let's see here. Good evening to Matthew. How are you, Matthew? Welcome to the stream. Oh, here you go. Did you know about the game Stray? Are you excited for Stray 2 if they make one?
Yeah.
What would you think about the game Stray?
Of course I liked it. Because it's cats.
That's right. You love kitty.
Yeah, it was cute.
It was very cute. Let's see here. 2 separate cam stacks. Number 1, we'd have to buy another webcam. Number 2, don't you think that doubling the feed is going to have the same effect as going to a high resolution? It's probably going to do the same thing. Do you have anything that you like or a favorite thing you like about working in retail? I mean, that's up to you if you want to answer if you even like anything about working in retail or not. No. Nothing at all. No. I mean, same with me. Like, the thing is, for me, I've held a million retail jobs, and they're just a job, right?
Yeah.
It's just a job to have.
Exactly.
To make some money, you know. It's not something you do because you want to do it.
Right.
It's something you do because you need to do it, and that's the job that's available,
Yep.
right?
Sadly, yes.
Will you ever play It Takes Two? I mean, we know of it. Remember, it won Game of the Year a couple years ago, but, you know, again, it's not something we talked about. I don't know if we'd ever look into it.
Yeah.
Did you like Beyond Two Souls? Well,
I didn't play that one.
You never played it.
Yeah.
It's on Game Pass, right? If you ever wanted to check it out, you
Yeah.
could. It's on there. So, did you ever play a Metro game before? Any of the Metro series?
Metro, yeah. Those are pretty good.
The
Interesting.
same first-person
Yeah.
RPG style. More gunplay in those, though. Like, more
Yeah.
gun shooting oriented. But it does have RPG elements in it, too.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. Well, Girl Wearing Purple is complimenting your eye makeup, so
Oh.
you wear it really well.
Thank you.
There you go. Oh, God, here we go. What's your opinion on Cyberpunk? Oh, boy. What is your opinion on Cyberpunk 2077? I don't think she likes it. You don't have to fully answer it all if you don't want to. I'm just saying, you know, I know you said how much you don't like that too, so it's up to you. Do you want to talk about it or no?
I'm not going to go into it.
There you go.
But
you just don't like it.
Yeah.
Okay, not for you.
No.
Oh, let's see here. All right, more tips to shout out. Let's see. Does Phil ever get angry when he's driving? And what do I listen to when I'm driving? Do I ever get incredibly angry when I'm behind the wheel? Let's hear her answer. Do I? Do I get absolutely furious behind the wheel?
All the time.
There you go.
Every single time.
There you go. Yeah. I make it I make it a practice that every time I get behind the wheel, I at least hit 4 or 5 people on the street walking along the road. I mean, that's just how I drive in video games. So obviously that's what I do in real life, you know.
You drive like in GTA.
And then I speed away as fast as I can so I don't get caught by any roadside cameras or observers, right? Like.
Yeah, but there's no cops out here, so it doesn't matter.
That's right.
I know, but
it's just a joke, right? You know,
yeah.
People be stupid. They think that I drive in real life like I do in games. No, I do not. So, okay.
Of course not.
I received a $1 tip. Oh, and it's a troll, so we
Yep.
ignore the dumbass. I received a $15 tip. From Rick, he says, good to see. I'm not even reading that either. I mostly watch your old BioWare game playthroughs, and I had a suggestion. I'm an experienced modder when it comes to BioWare. It could be cool to help you mod Knights of the Old Republic or Dragon Age or Mass Effect. Why would I want to mod those games? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm not into mods, okay? The most modding I've ever been into was back when Fallout 4 actually had mods on Xbox, which was the first time I think I've ever seen mods on a major console, right? Like, you almost never see mods on a console. It's always PC centric, which is probably why I'm not into mods. I'm just not really into it. I don't know why I would want to mod a game. Usually when I play through a game once, that's the one time I'm ever going to play it. If I go back to play a game, it's years and years later, and usually it's so long separated from the original playthrough, I wouldn't care for mods anyway. Like, for just an example, right now I'm playing Resident Evil 0 Remastered 8 years after my first run. Now you might say, well, it's your second run, you should do mods. Like, I don't even remember the game from 8 years ago, so why do I want to modify the game? I just want to play it again for what it is, you know? someone who like really likes a franchise, maybe you want to play it 7-8 times, and each time you have mods and stuff on it. I'm just not one of these mod-centric guys. And again, I think that comes with PC gaming culture a lot. And since I'm not a heavy PC gamer, that's probably why I'm not very interested in it. So, look at this. Here he is. We knew he was going to be coming. There's Mr. Jasper Kitty. Careful of his feet, because there he goes.
Yeah.
Let him walk. What I just do, I let him walk on you like that.
Yeah.
And usually he won't use his claws. Just
Yeah,
let him
he's
step
gonna
on you.
Scratch me.
There you go. And there he goes. Yeah, you have thin pants on too. Like
Yeah.
you gotta.
He
When
already-
he jumps on you, he freaking really gets the claws in. Oh, I know. You guys have seen the wound he gave me last year, right on the arm, because he was on the chair and he slipped and he went goop right into my arm and this big gash in my arm, and he didn't mean it, but man, that took like 2 months to heal. That was a deep one.
I still have a cut in my leg.
From him crawling on
Yeah.
you. Right. He doesn't realize it, So, okay. Let's see here. Do you have a favorite game of all time at all?
All time? Oh.
You don't have to have one, because I don't have one. I can't tell them
Yeah,
all the time I don't have a favorite game of all time.
That's hard, because, like, there's games, there's multiple games that I really, really like the Mass Effect trilogy, like Skyrim, games like that, but I couldn't really be like, this is my all-time favorite number one.
Right.
It's too hard.
Good. I think too many people think in absolutes. That's what it is. Like, they think, oh, there has to be a best and a worst, right? I'm not that kind of person to think that there's a best and a worst. Do you remember what the very first video game you ever played was? Do you have any recollection of that?
Oh,
I wonder.
Probably Super Mario World on the...
Super Mario World.
Yeah.
On the SNES, Super
Yes.
Nintendo. Wow. Awesome. I mean, that's a pretty damn good first game to play. It's so good.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. That is my favorite platformer of all time. So imagine if that was the first game you ever played. I'm trying. Like, my first game I ever played, like played hands on, was Pong. Literally Pong. Because my uncle gave me a Pong console that I plugged into the TV and played it at home. And back then there was no color. It was just black and white. So I messed with all the knobs on the TV to make it like neon colors and things on the screen, so it could be different color Pong. But yeah, okay. Let's see here. Dark Magus says Ocarina of Time is considered his favorite game of all time.
That was my first. Yeah, I played that. My first Zelda experience was playing Ocarina of Time, and I loved it.
There you go. Excellent. The N64.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, what was your first console that you ever owned or played? Do you remember?
The Super Nintendo.
So you owned a Super Nintendo. It was just for you.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Do you ever go for a platinum trophy ever in any game?
No, because I don't care. I don't care about that.
For me, like, when they first started doing that, when the Xbox 360 came out, right? And all of a sudden, and I didn't intend it, right? You're playing a game, all of a sudden it pops up on the screen, but dink, points. I was like, what's that? I didn't even know what it was, And then all of a sudden you kind of get addicted because you're like, oh, I want more of them. You're getting them naturally as you play the game. And you get a little bit of, oh, maybe if I play this easy game, I'll get a bunch of the points. And then after a while you realize, what am I doing this for? You don't ever get anything for earning achievements or trophies. It's just a little extra thing. I get it. There's addiction, or you get a little bit of satisfaction when you hear that you see the trophy, ba-ding, or whatever.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really do anything. So kind of silly, but I get it that people like it. A couple more tips have come in. Just an anonymous $10 tip. Thank you so much. Whoever just did that, no message attached, just said anonymous. So thank you to the anonymous $10 tipper. I appreciate that. Let me before I add that, because there's another one. So maybe there's another question we can answer while I add that to the leaderboard here. This is it's a personal question, right? You don't want to answer that. So guys, you got to understand there's a difference between having a public stream where we're just kind of hanging out with you guys and you're answering personal questions about our past and history and stuff. We're not going to be answering that. So you're wasting your time. Appreciate the contribution, not answering personal questions. Sorry. Okay. Continuing on. Wolflike with a super chat says, hello from England. To Catfill and Jasper, it is awesome to see you all together on stream. Thank you to Wolflike. Appreciate that. And it's nice to be together, right? It's nice to do something different, finally, after all these years. And originally, this actually was something that we had talked about when you first moved in, over 5 years ago, if you remember, right? Where we had said that we wanted to kind of have just hangout sessions with the viewers. and every once in a while maybe do something different, and then, you know, what happened, you know, it's history, and now it's a good time to start fresh, right? So this is cool to be doing this tonight, I think. Okay, honest question. Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying this? Does it feel good to be, you know, feeling like you can be in front of the camera again? It's, you know, it's not a big deal. It's just, also, I want to say thank you to the people who are here and being respectful and nice. Thank you to the mod team that's here helping tonight. If you guys haven't noticed how different it is on YouTube than how it used to be on Twitch, right? How controlled of an environment this is, that we have a good crowd of people. It's not just people coming in with 100 troll accounts spamming and doing dumb shit. Twitch used to be out of control like that.
Yeah, it was.
And here we can really keep things under control much more better than that. So that's also one of the major reasons why I think this is working. So there you go. Okay, so guys, anything else? If you want to ask us a question, please tag us. Let's see here. Those who real large says, I just want to say, hope you all have, you know, that you get more respect and love and from positive viewers in chat onward. Just wants to know, do you like dancing? Do you do a shuffle here or there? Is it something you like to do?
Dancing? No.
Well, you all know that I'm an expert dancer, as you know. You see it on the streams all the time, that I can really cut a rug. And that's why, you know, no, we don't really, dancing is not our forte. Okay, you know what? And this is up to you if you want to answer this, because we've talked about this off stream. What do you think about Baldur's Gate 3? Do you want to be honest about it or not? You don't have to, but if you want to talk about it, go ahead. It's up to you.
It's overhyped completely.
There you go.
I'm not against the people who really enjoy it, but I think there are people out there who are so in love with that game that they can't see why someone wouldn't like a game like that. Because that game is not, like, it's not an accessible game, you know? It's not a game that anyone can just get into, and it's certainly, like, it's only for a certain group of people, and if you like that style of game, that's great, but it's just not for everybody. It's not for me. Every time I try to watch the game, I'm incredibly bored, because it's literally just talking and rolling dice the whole time, so it's really not for me. So
I said outright, and I said this over and over on my streams. Now, here's someone who's an outsider who doesn't play a million games like me, and someone who also has no D&D experience. It's not accessible, right?
No.
It doesn't look, it's not at all.
No.
The only reason I tell you guys I enjoy the game is because I'm streaming it with you, because you guys are there to help me understand. Just today, I'm in the middle of a fight, and I throw an attack down that's supposed to hit 4 enemies, and it's supposed to kill them all. They're all alive. I said to my stream, what? Why are they alive? Oh, well, don't you know that the undead have an unseen stat that they can resurrect automatically and have 1 HP? I was like, what? I'm 40 hours into the game and I don't know this yet? The game is so complex.
Yep.
That you would never know 90% of the stuff in the game until you get screwed by it, right? So that's what I mean. That game, for a certain audience who's been playing that game all along, that's an acquired taste. It's an acquired taste just like a FromSoft game.
Right.
Is an acquired taste. Once you understand the stuff and the mechanics and everything, now the game's amazing, right? Because now you get it and it jives in your head. You know what to expect. But if you're going in as an outsider, it's like, why would this be Game of the Year?
Right.
No one can just walk into the game and even like it because you don't understand it, right? So I get it. I understand why people like it, but you got to understand, you usually, the people that love that game are people who've already played games in that franchise or in that universe, so you have that background knowledge, and that's why you like it so much. Outsiders aren't going to like it that much. And Jasper is licking my toe, and it tickles, right? Jasper, you silly boy. Okay. Let's continue. We have a few more tips now. August has tipped $10. Says, hope to see you again on a stream soon, Kat. I'm glad to see you here. I hope that you've had a good night. To Mr. and Mrs. Darkside. You don't have to call us Mr. and Mrs. Darkside. You can call us Phil and Kat, or you can call us the Brunells, I guess. But you don't have to call us the Dark. It's not that serious where I have to be called Darkside all the time. But thank you for the tip. I appreciate that, August. And, see here. Well, there you go. Now, here's someone who's, I feel, is at least of rational mind. Someone tipped $1 anonymously and said, you know, I am a detractor of yours, particularly they don't like me. But they don't understand why people are so negative towards my wife. Because you want to know the truth? There's nothing to understand. You get it? That's not rational behavior.
Right.
To be nasty to someone who literally has not earned your ire is not rational thought. That's just, it's mania is what it is. And she never, ever deserved any of the hate she got from anyone on the internet because she's never done anything that would ever piss anybody off, you know? She was sat on streams for Q&A a couple times. She was on a Halloween stream. That was it. And then these people are just obsessed to the point of nonsense and mania. And they need to get help, but...
Yeah, they do.
You know, you can't make people get help, especially when they just sit there behind their computers and no one in their real life is monitoring their activities. You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do. But happy that we are able to be back in a family capacity now. So, okay. Oh boy, here you go. Here's a question for you, Kat. They've asked me this and I've answered it. What's your favorite kind of pizza? New York style, Chicago style, brick oven style? Do you have any kind of particular pizza you like over others?
They're all good in their own way.
Have you ever had Chicago style pizza before? Okay, there you go. She has had it.
I mean, that's not. I would say that's my least favorite because it's the most different, and it's not really. I mean, they call it pizza, but it's like a pie.
It's a cheese pie,
like
exactly.
An actual, you know. But the brick style is the crunchy edges, right?
Crunchy edges, and it has that char underneath.
Yes.
Because it's from the brick oven, you get that flavor to it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like all kinds of pizza because pizza's pretty good. So.
What about Domino's? You love that.
I love Domino's. I hate Domino's.
I think I've told you the story before. I'll just reiterate it tonight. So when we went to Connecticut in 2019 to visit my parents, and then the surprise was that we were getting married. We didn't tell you guys. It was a shocking thing, right? A little surprise. So we got there, and that night we had touched down so late. Our plane had been delayed, remember? Yeah. And we arrived so late. The only thing that was open to order food from in the hotel was Domino's Pizza. So we're like, well, we're going to order. We know we don't like Domino's. We should order like a better kind. So we got the New York style that they have, right? Yeah. So the pizza shows up, and it looks like normal pizza. Like, oh, maybe this is going to be good. And we go to eat it, and all you can taste is like sodium. It's like you took a salt shaker and dumped the salt shaker on it like this. So we're trying to eat it in a hotel, and we're like, this doesn't even taste like pizza. You taste a little bit of cheese and total salt. And we have a whole pizza to eat because we have nothing else to eat. We're starving. We've been traveling all day, so we had to eat it, and we felt awful. Like, this is shit, you know? So that's I know I don't think we even ordered. Did we ever order Domino's?
No.
Ever together? I don't think so,
right?
Think so. We always stay away from it because it was so bad.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Got a $5 tip here. Whoops. So, from Greg, he says, Kat, when you were learning how to cook, did you teach yourself? Did a family member or a friend teach you how to cook? Like, how did you become a cook, basically, and learn how to make the meals?
Self-taught, I think. I mean, watching YouTube. Watching food channel, or not food channels, but, like, other people cook on YouTube, like, recipes. Pretty much just learning from that, and then trial and error. You know, trying it on your own, trying different variations and stuff. Sure. So
I think that one important thing that people need to know about cooking that we've learned together is that you're not just gonna get it right the first time. Right? The first time you try a recipe, you tend to maybe go a little bit more towards what the recipe originally was. But what happens is you taste it, you're like, it's off. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it my own. And you've done that with so many recipes that you've tried. Yeah. Is that you've tweaked the ingredients to make them better, and then the recipe ends up being like amazing, right? So that's the cool thing. You take that instructional video, you try it, and then you tweak it, and then it ends up becomes 10 times better, which is really, really cool. One more quick tip, and then we can get back to the general public here. From Jimmy, a $2 tip. Kat, I love your playthroughs. Very relaxing. Yeah, I know the YouTube channel is still up there, and sadly it went through detractor circles like idiots. They posted it everywhere, even though I think you played like 2 games total. Yeah,
I didn't touch it since then because of that.
Yeah, which is probably the best idea.
Yep.
So Big Mac did a super chat. Says, here's to more positive and meaningful content from you guys. Cheers. Thank you very much, Big Mac, for the super chat. You're licking my toe again. It's distracting me, Jasper. Look at that. He's tickling me. Because, again, he doesn't know what we're doing. He's never been in here before with us together, so he has no clue what's going on. And he's probably like, guys, you've been in here for like almost 2 hours. What is happening, right? Let's see here. Have you seen this question from Duke? It's up to you if you want to answer it or not. You can completely ignore it. Yeah, it's up to you. I've seen it a million times. I don't know if it's one you want to answer or not. You can ignore it.
Yeah, because I don't really have an answer to that.
All right, so Duke, stop asking the question. We're not going to answer it. There you go. We already answered the question about what kind of music she listens to. Oh, did you ever watch Godzilla movies? And do you remember the first one you might have ever seen? No, not a fan of Godzilla.
I mean, I have seen like a long time ago, but no, not something I remember.
Not a big fan.
Yeah.
Okay. Have we ever tried making our own homemade pizza? Not really. Like, the best we've done is you buy the pre-made dough and you roll it out onto, like, a cookie sheet or a pizza pan. You add some sauce. You add cheese and toppings. We've done that.
Yeah.
But that's not really authentic. We didn't make the dough from scratch.
No.
It was the store-bought sauce. We never made a pizza from scratch, no. Did you ever, like, Croc shoes? Have you ever had
No.
them? Me either, right? Like, there's weird rubber. Don't you think... I mean, let's be honest. Don't you think that's gonna like be gross after a while, like sweaty and just smelly? Like, why would you want to wear that? That's disgusting, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know? Does Jasper spend more time with Kat or Phil? You know, I don't know. It's kind of split, I would think.
It depends on what's going on.
Yeah.
If I'm gone, like,
that's right. Because on days when you're at work, he's in here.
Yeah.
Or spending time with me. At days when I'm working. And you're not here. He's always in this office the whole time.
Yeah.
But every time that I'm streaming, he's with you, right? There's sometimes when... No, because he'd always be in here with me when you're working. No, you know what? The answer is really you. When you really think about it time-wise.
Yeah.
Because I'm in here 6 days a week. So absolutely, yeah, the question is actually more spent... Now, does he like spending time more with either of us? That I can't answer. Yeah, we're not going to... Jasper? Well, he just smelled my stinky foot and he made a face. So I think we know the answer. There you go. We already answered. We're looking to do some co-op in the future. Rewind to the first part of this if you want answers there. We're going to look into that. Do you have a favorite holiday, Kat, of all the holidays of the year?
Christmas?
Mm-hmm. Is there a reason why Christmas particularly?
No, just like it.
You just like it. All right. That's a good enough answer. Derek, you have a good night. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for being nice. Did you ever see the original Spider-Man movies with Tobey Maguire? You did?
I agree. Those are the best ones.
Oh, there you go.
I don't like the new ones.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, there's three. You were aware there's 3 different Spider-Man series at this point. It's ridiculous, right? I saw the Tobey Maguire ones in the movies. I loved them.
Yeah.
And I never saw the Andrew Garfield movies. That's the Amazing Spider-Man series. I never saw them. And then when I was actually an early YouTuber, a fan sent me a digital copy, right? And says, check it out. I was like, all right, I've never watched it. I watched it. I couldn't stand it. I was like, it's all 3D. It's terrible. It's all like bad animation and shit. The lizard looked like shit. I was like, who'd watch this trash? And everyone's like, oh, but it's so good. I was like, oh my God. And now, the modern Spider-Man, I saw him. I didn't see all his movies. I saw like one. We saw the first one together, Homecoming.
That one was okay. I mean,
it was decent, right? It wasn't he's in the other Marvel movies. I've seen him in the Infinity War movies. It's all right.
I just can't get into him. I just like the original Tobey Maguire ones.
Right. We're gonna get to more tip shout outs. Good Lord, the tips are coming in tonight. Sarah's interested. Do you have any dream vacation locations that you'd like to go to at some point?
Japan.
That's what I told them.
Yeah.
Okay. Anywhere particularly in Japan anything you'd like to see or do if we went there?
I mean, obviously the food, and just kind of experience the culture there, in person, because you play the games.
Right.
You get to experience it through the Yakuza games.
Right.
But it would be really cool actually going in person.
Now that's interesting. Do you think that playing the Yakuza games maybe made you even more interested, that you want to see some of that stuff in person now? The food and everything?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about any of that stuff. Any of the street culture stuff, the vendors and everything, the stores. I didn't know any of that existed. And I played Yakuza. I was like, that'd be pretty cool to go over there and kind of experience that in person, right?
Yeah.
From Lady Charisma, a $5 tip. Thank you so much. Sending some love from me and my fiance. More power to you too. Thank you very much, Lady Charisma, for the $5 tip. That's a very nice message. Appreciate that. And I believe there's one more here to take a look at. Kat, as a kid in the 90s, this is from Jeremiah, excuse me, I should have said that first. From Jeremiah, $2 tip. Kat, as a kid in the 90s, did you have any favorite cartoons or TV shows that you liked to watch as a kid?
I would always watch, it was like all the Nickelodeon stuff. Rugrats was one of them. Hey Arnold.
Yes.
Dexter's Laboratory.
So that was, I'm trying to think, that would be what, late 90s? Or
I think
mid to late 90s?
I think so.
Because, see, I was right before. So
Yeah.
I was Doug,
Yeah, I watched that too.
Rocco's Modern Life.
Yes.
And a lot of the live action shows, like Salute Your Shorts, The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Like, that was the stuff that came right before, and you watched the stuff that came right after.
Yeah.
So, basically, we covered the whole decade of the 90s between the two of us.
Yeah.
Of Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you a Star Wars fan at all?
The original ones from the 70s.
The original trilogy.
Yeah.
There
Those
you
are
go.
I don't like the new ones at all. But I like the original ones.
Like most people.
Yeah.
That's the common opinion. Do you like Scooby-Doo?
When I was a kid, I did. I won't watch it now, but yeah.
The funny part about Scooby-Doo is that Scooby-Doo came out in the 70s and was very popular then. Continued to go through the 80s, but it was the same cartoons from the 70s that just kept rerunning, but were still popular. And then they, every once in a while, like, they resurrect and have a new series.
Yeah.
And yeah. Well, do you like Scooby-Doo? Are you even aware what Scooby-Doo you saw? Because there was like 10 different versions, but it's always the same Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't even know like which one you saw. Like I saw the ones from the 70s, that original Scooby-Doo, and then they had Scrappy-Doo, right? Who was like the nephew, I think he was supposed to be. But then they remade it later, and Scrappy was back, so now you don't know which one you watched, you know? Okay. Did you didn't play Ghostwire Tokyo, did you? Did you watch me play it?
I think I watched you play it.
You watched me play, but you didn't play it yourself.
No, because like I watched you play it to see what it was, and I was like, okay, this is nice to watch, but I don't think I would have too much fun playing it. It's kind of basic, you know, but it was interesting to watch.
It was fun at first, but then it got so repetitive, like halfway through, and there was nothing new to offer. It was the same enemies, the same magic over and over, right? And that's when it kind of fell flat. So, let's see here. Do you like SpongeBob?
Some episodes of it. Like we watched it together one time.
Yes.
So
we were watching it to prepare when I was going to play that Battle for Bikini Bottom game.
It's fun to watch for like you can only take so much of it though. Like we can't sit there and binge it.
Right.
But it is watch a couple episodes here and there. It's fun. It's interesting. But then after that, you're like, okay, enough of that.
A super chat from Ashrin, a big one too. Thank you, Ashrin. Will we get any cookie streams anytime soon? Well, first of all, I can answer right now. We don't have a way to stream from our kitchen. All right, we don't have portable setups. You know what I mean? I don't have a good. Yeah, of course you would say, well, what about bringing your phone into your kitchen and putting it on a tripod? It's not that serious, all right? It's just not. Maybe at some point in the future, way down the line, but it's not something that we've really talked about. Again, I think what it is you give people, like I said, you give people a pebble, and they turn that pebble immediately into a mountain, right? Because we're doing one stream tonight. Here's 400 ideas of things in the future. Like, look, let me put it this way. Would you be against ever cooking for a video or a stream ever, or you just think that's something private you wouldn't be interested in? Would you ever be interested in any circumstance of doing that?
Of cooking? I mean, I think about it, but it's not my top. Like, it's not something I would like. I wouldn't be against it, but I also don't like really want to do it either.
Right.
You know, at the same time.
Fair enough. There you go. Yes, Kat's playing Like a Dragon. We already talked about it. You're late. This is one of her biggest games of the year. She's excited for. Let's see here. Okay, so more tips coming in to shout out again. Goodness. Got a $5 tip from Dan the Man. Thank you very much, Dan the Man, for a $5 tip here tonight. I appreciate that. Get your animation going in a sec. Also, another tip came in, $3 from August, and I hope everyone has a great night. I guess August is taking off. All right, August, thank you so much. Dan the Man, thank you so much. At this point, we've been here almost 2 hours at this rate. So, you know, we're going to be adjourning soon, everyone, just so you know. We're not going to be here all night. Obviously, guys, we want to say thank you. We had no clue that this level of support would come out of this stream. That wasn't our intention. We didn't have any goals or anything for tonight. It was just to introduce Kat back to the streams and let you know that, you know, we're interested in having these kind of hangout sessions, sharing these nights with you guys, and enjoying, you know, games maybe moving forward if there's a game that we are interested, you know, in doing stuff, okay? So let's, what do you say, another 5-10 minutes to wrap it up? All right, so last chance, guys. You have any questions, last things to ask, any last contributions, anything? Let's get them all cleared now, and we'll probably call it a night, and then we'll talk about this, you know, later in the week about, you know, the future of this kind of stuff. Let's see here. Butter says, we're so excited. Cat's on the stream. It never happened before, and she's cool. I mean, it did.
Yeah.
It did happen before, but it was 5.5 years ago, you know? So that's why most people... I was actually saying this to her right before we started. I said, I guarantee you most of the people here tonight won't even remember you because it was over 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And, you know, with viewership on YouTube, on Twitch, on anywhere, you always have kind of almost a rotating door. You got people coming in, you got people leaving, you got people who come back. So it's nice to have a lot of you here, and thank you for being nice tonight. But we had a feeling a lot of people wouldn't even remember, you know. Let's see here. Felix and Maid enjoyed the stream very much. What are the plans for tomorrow? It's our day off. So our plans are to not be on stream and not tell you about it. And when I come back on Friday, if anything notable happens that I feel like talking about, I'll tell you on the podcast. So there you go. Let's see. We already answered about It Takes Two. We haven't really talked about it or thought about it. Our game we're interested in playing is Like a Dragon. Infinite Wealth coming up. More of the virtual island stuff. All right, Girl Wearing Cribble says, was glad to see you, Kat. Hope that you have a good night because we're heading out soon. Do you have any favorite Disney Pixar movies at all that you liked over the years?
Just old ones, like Toy Story.
Mm-hmm. Monsters, Inc. You like those?
That one, yeah, I like those ones too. I don't like Disney anymore.
Well,
yeah.
let's be honest, the last few years, I don't think they've even put out a single good thing,
yeah.
honestly.
I like the old stuff. I don't like the new stuff.
Right.
So.
All right. Drew Corporation says, I've only been around for about a year, but it is nice to see this side of you. Looking forward to more Cat participation if that's what she chooses and wants. There you go. Let's see here. Here you go. Mark is suggesting if we ever go to Japan, go to Akihabara Tokyo Go-Go Curry, the best Japanese curry in the country.
Oh,
and glad to see you here tonight.
I was just looking that up, the Japanese curries and
right.
Different restaurants in Japan. It looks, I mean, I've made Japanese curry.
You have.
Here.
It's delicious. One of my favorite recipes that she makes is the Japanese curry, for sure. Okay. The Red King just did a giant super chat and basically says, just so you know, I'm also a detractor like the other guy earlier who tit. But I want to let you know, I've never understood the hate that Cat got. I married myself for 15 years. I'll attest you're indeed lucky. Happy New Year's to both of you. And I still suck, by the way. There you go. Very nice. Thank you to the Red King for the super chat. Again, here's the thing. If you don't like me, you have the right to not like me. I'm the one who puts myself in front of this camera every day. Judge me. Why would you unfairly judge someone else who has nothing to do with any of this and just wanted to jump on every once in a while for something nice and positive? It was pretty messed up, but I'm happy that she's back. So.
Yes.
Let's see here. Do you like South Park at all? Have you ever really watched it?
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time. I mean, once in a while I'll see a clip on YouTube because, you know, they're they make fun of they're making fun of woke stuff on there, and I think that's funny. So, you know, once in a while I'll see a clip or whatever, but I don't actively watch the show, but I used to watch the show.
It's just like everything. Like, that thing's been running for so long. Like, if you were to ask us, did you ever watch The Simpsons? Of course we've watched The Simpsons. But do we watch it now? No, the show's been running for like 30 years. You know, we're not going to sit down and actively start watching The Simpsons on any given day. These shows that have been around for so long, you kind of like, you still know they exist, but you don't actively keep watching them, right?
Yeah.
Same thing with me. Like, I'm not crazy for that stuff that I used to watch when I was younger. So, okay. Did either of us ever, excuse me, I'm tongue-tied. Did either of you ever watch The Sopranos? Did you like it? Lots of people have reactions to the show now on YouTube. Did you ever watch The Sopranos at all?
I don't think so. But I know a lot of people like the show.
Yeah. See, my dad loves The Godfather. He likes that trilogy of movies. So when The Sopranos was announced, and the one premium cable channel that we had was HBO. And it just so happens that Sopranos was an HBO show. So I saw the whole series with my parents. Like, we watched it start to finish. And basically, our opinion is kind of in line with a lot. We loved the show, hated the ending. Just like almost everyone. The ending was terrible, but the show was a great ride, and we're happy that we watched it, but the ending sucked. So, with the new South Park game coming out, do you think you would stream it? Are you aware of the new South Park game? Do you even know what it is? I know what it is. It's called Snow Day.
Oh, I think I heard about it. I don't know much about it, though.
It's totally different. It's not an RPG like the last two. It's a team-based action game where you shoot snowballs and stuff at each other.
Oh, I see.
They basically tried to jump on the bandwagon of team-based shooter games for kids, you know. Although kids really shouldn't be playing South Park, I almost feel like kids are gonna play this one.
Okay.
So I don't know.
So
it
it's
doesn't.
nothing like the other ones.
No, it's not even a full. Like it's not even $60. It's like a discounted game that they know
Yeah.
people aren't gonna pay $60 for it. So it's not something we've really looked into yet. You know, I don't even know. Could you even do co-op on it in the same room? I don't even know. You know, I don't even know if it's possible.
About it.
Yeah. Did you ever like Game of Thrones or Walking Dead? We already answered Walking Dead, that you liked Walking Dead at first, but it lasted too long.
Right.
And, you know, did you ever like Game of Thrones?
I watched it, although I didn't watch... The ending sucked, apparently, although I didn't watch the final season. Looking back on it, it's definitely inferior to other fantasy, like, for instance, Lord of the Rings. I know Lord of the Rings is movies, but obviously it's like... Game of Thrones is just for people who want to see over-the-top stuff, like the sexual stuff, the violence, gore. And the fantasy.
A lot of violence and gore
like,
in that.
I don't think some of the stuff that was in there, I don't think was necessary. Kind of like with Cyberpunk. Why do you need all this excessive...
It's shock value,
is
what it is. They're trying to be the extreme shock value to be different and differentiate from something like Lord of the Rings.
But if you're putting too much of that in there, it takes away from the actual good stuff, like the fantasy stuff. And that's what I did not like about Game of Thrones, is like, why do we need this excessive violence, excessive sex? It's just stupid. So because of that, I just don't like it as much as other fantasy stuff. So
I started watching, first of all, I started reading Game of Thrones. I remember the only reason I even knew about it, I was on the way to a convention and I was at an airport with nothing to do. I went to the bookstore or the newsstand and they had now a series from HBO, Game of Thrones. I'll just buy it and read it on the plane. I start reading it and I got hooked on the first book. I was like it's something interesting, different. The writing was good. And I started reading them and I got like through 3-4 books. I just got bored. I was like, this is too much. They're introducing too many characters. It's too convoluted. It's too slow moving. It felt like a snail's pace at that point. So then the show comes out, and I start watching it, right? I watch season 1, season 2. By season 3, it's like the same. I'm like, I can't keep watching the show forever. It's not enough going on. That's interesting.
It's all just drama, and everyone wants to kill each other, and it's like, I understand why people like it. I mean, even I liked it at first, but then I'm just like, this is just stupid. Like, I don't need... Every episode had to have a dumb shit in there.
Yeah.
And it's not necessary.
A lot of these shows, even Walking Dead, they seem like they have a good idea to start with, but they have no idea where the finish line is.
Yeah.
And because of that, the shows just write themselves into this boring oblivion no one cares about. Like, I don't want to watch 17 seasons of a show, and then the ending sucks, by the way. It's like, it's too much time investment. So how about a show that's like 3 good seasons that are absolutely amazing, and the story ends and it's great? How often do you see that? Almost never, right? It's always, if it's good, you have to milk it forever to make money for that company. All right, Jade, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by tonight. See you on Friday, probably for Friday Night Fights, right? You never saw Breaking Bad,
No, it's
right?
a show I've wanted to watch, actually. That one, and then that Westworld show. Because the people who are making the new Fallout show apparently made Westworld, or it was the same director. And so there's people have been saying a lot of good things about that show, so maybe we'll watch it and just see how it...
That'd be good. Something to watch. We have it's on Max. Westworld was HBO, so I know that. I don't know about Breaking Bad. I think that was...
It was AMC, wasn't it?
It was AMC, which isn't HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think we even have that. We'd have to figure out how we could watch that if we wanted to. Okay. Yeah. Did you I don't think you ever played the Batman Arkham trilogy, did you? You never played those games. Yeah. So you have no opinion, really.
Yeah.
Not into the superhero stuff.
No, not really.
Do you play any fighting games?
I mean, I used to play a little bit of Mortal Kombat, but I'm just not huge into fighting games.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I think this is a good spot, right? We've been here for over 2 hours now. We're both exhausted. My ass is killing me from sitting on this plastic stool for 2 hours like this. I definitely got to find a better arrangement than this for future streams. I'd like to say thank you. You guys were a great audience. For those who were respectful, who weren't prying, thank you so much to the mod team, because you guys helped a ton to keep this under control. We saw the moderation at work tonight. Thank you all for your insane amount of support, which was not expected. I mean, that is so appreciated. Thank you so very much. And, of course, the final question that everyone's going to say is, will we do something like this again, right? Ultimately, the question is, did you have a good time?
I did.
Did you feel better about it this time around than, you know? So there you go. So would you consider coming back to do something like this again?
Yeah, as long as they would be interested in it. I'm not going to force anything.
Right.
But I don't want to be intrusive.
Right.
But...
And here's the thing. This is what I tell them, too.
Yeah.
Things are special when you're not doing them all the time.
Yeah.
If we did this every single week, it would probably be like too much, I feel, right? But if every once in a while we want to do a stream like this, or, the gameplay, maybe once a week we would play the Animal Crossing island of Like a Dragon, and then maybe once or twice a month we do like a Q&A or something like this, just for variety. I think that's a good pacing. But if it happened well the first time, let's do it twice a week from now on. Like, who the hell wants this? It's gonna be too it's not special anymore, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll talk about it behind the scenes. We'll see how Kat feels about coming back, when she wants to come back, and we'll go from there. But again, you guys were awesome. Shout out to Swaggins, who popped his membership there and said, great stream. 2024 is going to be a fun year. I told you guys I had some special stuff in store for this year, and everyone's like, oh, Phil's just saying that. Yeah, all right. Now, there you go. And by the way, there was one final super chat here as well from The Stranger. You both look great. It was great to see you, Kat. Thanks for taking time. Thanks for taking care of our boys. Love you guys. There you go. All right. All right. That is it, guys. Thank you so very, very much. I hope that you guys enjoyed tonight's stream. And obviously, this will be 2 parts you can watch on demand on YouTube after the fact. And we'll be getting back to you about doing it possibly again. All right. Thank you all.
Yes.
Have a good night and see you soon.
Bye.